Coming up on Mountain News this morning, Governor Andy Beshear makes a visit to some state parks that are giving flood victims in our region a bit of hope. And we continue to hear about organizations coming to Eastern Kentucky to give back to those who may have lost everything.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning to you. It's almost 6 o'clock on this Monday morning. I'm Dakota Makris, and it's August 8th. Let's take it over to Brandon Robinson for a look at our forecast this morning. And Brandon, I know this morning you're just watching some fog here and there, so not too bad in Hazard.
No,
so, yeah.
Exactly. I think we're a little bit more on the foggy side in Hazard than most, but again, kind of ebbing and flowing this morning. Just be careful as you head out the door. Some sunshine later today, but all eyes on later this week as we see another potential cold front rolling through. More on that in a little bit. But first this morning, fog is the main story of the day. We're looking at zero visibility or close to it in a lot of areas, so just slow down, be careful out there. Give yourself plenty of time to get back and forth this morning. So just take it easy out there. I-75 at Corbin. We were at London earlier. Corbin also looking pretty quiet as we start our day off. Temperatures from 64 in Y, 65 in Clintwood, 70. A lot of locations out there. Logan, Prestonsburg, Moorhead. Oh, look at that. They switched them on there. Logan, Pikeville, Moorhead, Harlan, Jonesville, and Jacksboro, all at the 70-degree mark this morning. 87 today is our forecast high. Our average is 85. Our record is 94. Sit back on this day in 2007. Dakota?
All right, Brendan, thank you. Well, Governor Andy Beshear and First Lady Brittany Beshear paid a visit to Eastern Kentucky state parks during the weekend. Well, they met with displaced families at Jenny Wiley State Resort Park and Buckhorn Lake State Resort Park on Saturday. The governor says it is important for people to be there for those who have lost their homes and in some cases loved ones as well.
Our goal is to be there for our brothers and sisters, is to live out our faith and to be there for the lost, the lonely, and the left behind, who are the folks that had a house 8 days ago and have nothing now. So we got to be strong enough to lift them up. For some, carry the grief for a little while of their lost family member.
Well, the couple thanked all park employees for their fantastic work in helping people recover. President Joe Biden is heading to Eastern Kentucky today to travel to some hard-hit areas during the devastating flooding. Dane Lieberman has the latest from New York.
During COVID and just be able to wrap our arms around them and say, we got you.
In the aftermath of the worst flooding in Kentucky's history, state parks have become safe havens for hundreds of people. Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear paying a visit to meet with some of them over the weekend.
Don't give up. Don't give up. This is hard times right now, but I promise you, whatever has happened during this time, keep your heads up and we will build back up.
At least 37 people have died in the Kentucky deluge that dropped as much as 10.5 inches of rain in just 48 hours.
Our creek systems, they can't handle another inch. They can't handle another quarter of an inch.
President Biden expanded federal aid to Kentucky, with FEMA providing more than $3 million in relief funds, and hundreds of rescue personnel have been deployed to help.
We need some dry days. That's what we need.
While people try to stay hopeful, the threat of flooding goes on. Dan Lieberman, CBS News, New York.
Well, the National Weather Service says flooding remains a threat through Thursday. President Biden's visit today will be his second visit to Kentucky during his presidency. And of course, we're going to cover his visit today. The Kentucky Red Cross has some advice for people who have evacuated their home due to flooding. Officials say to be aware of snakes, insects, and other animals who may be in your home. If power lines are down nearby, do not step in any standing water, have any flooded gas or electric appliances checked for safety, and dispose of any food that has come into contact with floodwater. Red Cross officials also say you should only return home when authorities say it is safe to do so. For more than 1 week now, we have shared stories of groups and organizations outside of Eastern Kentucky traveling to the mountains to help those in need. Our Alyssa Williams was in Knott County to learn more about how one medical group from West Virginia is using its resources to fill a need in several impacted communities.
From heartburn medication to insulin, Marshall University medical students and Marshall Health residents came prepared to help the people of Knott County.
There's so many people at Marshall that are from this area. So as soon as this happened, we're just like, we have to go. We have to be there.
In partnership with ARH and Mountain Health Network, those with Marshall Health set up a free mobile health clinic in the Hindman and Cary communities.
People are needing vaccines and sutures and suture removals and just a lot of different medical needs. And it's awesome that so many people were able to come together, pull together insulin, pull together all these expensive products that were lost and that people, have been going without.
In addition to helping people physically, those with Marshall Health wanted to offer mental health services as well.
Even if we don't do anything for them from a medication standpoint, just being here to have somebody to talk to, a shoulder to cry on, whatever you need. I think, especially in the weeks to come, that's going to be something that a lot of people are seeing that is going to be a big need.
And for Hindman native and Marshall Family Medicine resident Zachary Davis, being able to help his community in this way makes this mission even more special.
It feels awesome to be able to fill the medical need because that's why I went to medical school. That's why I went through residency, just to come and help the people of my hometown where I grew up. These are the people I love.
Banding together to bandage a wounded community. In Hindman, Alyssa Williams, WYMT Mountain News.
Those with Marshall Health say they plan to come back to the region to continue serving those in need for the weeks and months to come. Well, the Salvation Army has served several of the communities impacted by flooding, distributing 10,000 meals in the process. The organization had its last distribution in the Lothair community of Perry County on Sunday, handing out hygiene kits, cleaning supplies, food, water, and even Walmart gift cards.
It's always a blessing to be able to come and serve our fellow neighbors and be the hands and feet of Jesus to them, as we know that he would want us to serve and have compassion for those that have been impacted in such a devastating way.
Those with the Salvation Army say a service unit will be staying in the community to focus on long-term recovery for the families that have been impacted by flooding. Tide Loads of Hope, powered by Matthew 25 Ministries, is now open in Whitesburg. The laundry service is located at the Whitesburg Walmart, where people can get their clothes washed for free. Laura Morand, who is a disaster response team member with the organization, says the group is glad to help people recover.
There is very widespread devastation. It's hard to see people who've been so impacted by it. We're just glad we can come here and provide a little bit of help and hope for them.
Tide Loads of Hope will take 2 loads of laundry per household at one time, but cannot wash comforters or blankets. To create a more long-term drop-off and pickup site for flood relief donations, several community members helped to transform the old J.C. Penney building here in Hazard into a one-stop shop for flood victims. Offering anything from hygiene items to pet supplies, the building has turned into the epicenter for donations in a short span of time. This location has also seen several volunteers from California, Tennessee, along with a woman biker group from Louisville who came to drop off donations.
I talked to the woman, I guess it's kind of like heading this donation site, and asked her, please tell us what else we can bring. We want to bring more stuff back because they need help. This is awful. This houses are completely gone. Well, those with the donation site say they plan to open to the public this morning at 10 o'clock. They add they are in need of heavy-duty cleaning supplies, air conditioning units or fans, and of course, volunteers. Students in Breathitt County will be going back to school a little later due to historic flooding. During a special called school board meeting on Friday, board members voted to delay the first day of classes until August 29th. Officials say they will review and amend the calendar as needed while recovery efforts continue. If students or staff need help, they are asked to call the Breathitt County Schools Flood Response Helpline.
.08 here on this Monday morning. We continue to track the possibility for some fog out there in some spots, but the Mountain Parkway near the Wolf Powell County line near Slade, Not so much this morning. Daylight starting to break, so we can start to see some of those details on that camera. 64Y, 65 Clintwood. Those are our two cool spots this morning. Then we see approaching 70 degrees in a lot of locations, including Moorhead, Logan, Pikeville, Jonesville, Harlan, Jacksboro, and that is it for right now. And also Ashland. 87 this afternoon. Scattered chance for some passing showers and storms. I think we'll start out with sun after the fog lifts, sun and clouds, and those scattered chances for rain a little bit later on. All eyes, though, on later this week. A slow-moving front could impact us there Tuesday night into Wednesday. We're cautiously optimistic it's not going to be a bad situation for us, but we're going to be keeping a very close eye on it, and we could have a taste of fall as early as this weekend. Dakota?
All right, Brendan, thank you. Well, coming up, the Senate passes a massive economic package after a tie-breaking vote by the Vice President of the United States. Stay with us.